Hello my wonderful viewers. In this tutorial I'm going to be discussing data structures, implement callbacks, and external scripts. Pretty much that I've already created my external script tag, so you just have a new attribute and it takes a property of implement.js, and I have my button. I've given it an ID of click, having the type of button. So what's next is having this implement.js part. I'm just going to show you a real quick stuff. So btn, let me call this btn click so that I can pass to it whatever document, whatever DOM object the button is currently having. So document dot get element by ID. So the ID is actually a click. So that's done. So here we can just call btn click dot add event listener what we do, add event listener, and then you can just add it and click, and then a callback function to whatever it's going to do. So function. So this function does not take arguments, so basically it's just going to alert and say hello, the call back world. So after that, after you've done this, it's pretty much going to just alert callback hello world. So let's try this and see what it does. So we have the click me. Once you click, it puts the hello callback world. So you can see that we've actually used a callback here, and the callback does this, and then the callback is then called by add event listener, and we've actually passed the type of event we have. So the event is click. So that's pretty much an implementation of that. So implementation done. So data structures, I'm going to talk about the object notation and pretty much that. So var, let's say my object is object let me not call it object, let me call it person, like a person. All right, so then the person has a name. So name and to be Collins. The person has a function. So let me call this say name function that, and then say log my name is plus name. So that's pretty much that, and check it out. Okay, there's a syntax error this point. Sorry, we need a comma. It's like a comma separated list. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, so after that you can now have a variable and say Collins, and just say object dot create yeah, there's something like that. So let's say where a equals object. So I do this pretty much to dot create. Yeah, there's something like that. So let me clear this part up, clear console. Yeah, so object dot create from person. So person. So let's say object is not defined. Object dot create person. Yeah, so it's create an object for us, and now we could use Collins and say dot say name, and that pretty much will call my name function and do whatever it wanted me to do. So my name is Collins. All right, so this is, let me call it this is an object defined here. So this pretty much is like a comma separated list where we have a combination of methods and properties function. So yeah, so you've seen how we've declared an object here, and that's pretty much easy. You can also have a constructor to that object and just say person and give it the name attribute and say my name from now on will be Mark, and just do that and see what will happen. So my name is Mark. It has actually overwritten whatever we've had as our property by passing this constructor here. So that's pretty much it. That's the first object notation. So it's a literal notation. So let me do away with that part. Yeah, that part, and now try to have another data structure. The data structure I want us to talk about is the array data structure, and it's a vast one because you can have both multidimensional arrays and single dimensional array. So let's say this here pretty much I'm going to use a single dimensional array just like I've used it. So you can have Collins as one item in the array and just have a for loop here, for loop, and then let elements in a, and then log element that pretty much logs the element. So sorry, a element, so that's Collins, and this is, you can pretty much do, so there's this stuff guys always ask about, the array manipulation method. So this for each, so you can view everything in the our array. So a dot for each, I guess. Let me try that. I guess so function can have now a print a log a, and now let's remove this from here and try to see that. So that's printed our a, so so it's also a, so let's remove this a dot for each and repair that one, and then a dot push, you can push it to the end, so code, so you can see there are 2 items now, so I've pushed one to the end. And you can also do a dot and shift name and check out your name, so there's name and stuff like that. So you can then after doing that, you can then a dot shift, I guess the index at index 0. Let me try this. So at shift index 0, so now it's printed Collins code without the name and stuff like that. So yeah, and in order to see this, you can just log an empty string here. So you can see the first one, the array index 0 is name, Collins code, so we did away with name, and now we could actually pop a dot pop and you can pop at index. We have actually right now we have index 2 as the last index, so you can just remain with Collins as it is here, remain with Collins, and you can now have a variable new, and without changing the contents of our initial array, just say a dot map. New is a keyword actually. Let's say n, standing for new array. So array dot map, and you have a function, and it has a parameter, so lm, standing for element, and it has a return type, so return, let's assume a is numbers, so sorry, let me just do this. Since it's returning a string, we can actually print the string from one position to the next. So return lm 0, return element 0, so we're just printing the first character of the array to the new array. So let's try that. So n actually is there, and let's now try to do this in n and then do this in n. So let's try and see. So it has actually printed a first character of Collins, so that's pretty great. So these are the type of functions arrays could work with. You could work with a lot of functions, but I'm just gonna major on those. So let me now finish with the constructor functions, which we did, and I really don't want to revisit it again because of time. And yeah, and happy coding. So this video is pretty much diving to being vague because I've actually not done something useful with the code here. It's just some examples here and there. I'm going to come up with a real world scenario, and we're going to fix a JavaScript program to do a particular thing using the functions of should, using the data structures of should. Actually, I have one program I wrote while I was in school learning JS. So where is that program? This is the program I wrote, and this is the JavaScript code I wrote. So open with Atom. So the JavaScript code I wrote, and this is what it did. So you could have a hard section, and it's kind of a roll your dice and have a value kind of game. So it returns the value to the player 1. That value is returned to player 1. This one rolls. If you have a 1 or a 0, then it's the next player's turn, and this one then rolls and how that. And so it's like a game, a mini game written in JavaScript. So it uses the same principles as the ones we've used here. So you can see that I've actually prototyped a function for all my players. So instead of writing it inside it, so this was actually I could have done it inside my constructor function, but I just liked to prototype. Just love prototyping. It's great. And add and role. So basically all of this are just references to my objects. So that's pretty much it. So if you like the video, subscribe to my channel, and happy coding.